Congratulations on another incredible season of the reboot.
Thank you.
It's been so amazing watching these beloved characters just continue to grow on screen. So thank you. Speaking of, what has been your favorite or most memorable growth moment for your characters this season?
Ooh.
Do you have one?
I would say maybe the finale episode. Well, two things. I guess the first episode and the last episode for my character, because the first episode, Carly's really struggling with, who people think she is and the internet and her relationships and all that stuff. And then she, winds up getting Freddie all involved in it and feeling bad about it in the end. But I think that she grows in that episode because she realizes it wasn't the best thing to do. And also, I think she might realize that she has some more feelings for Freddie than maybe she knew before. So that episode, and then also in the finale episode, I think the very, last scene, and also just all throughout the episode, she's trying to make the birthday party perfect for Freddie's character. And I think Carly's always kind of had a problem where she's just so like type A and trying to she tries to make things, be a certain way. And sometimes that's just not going to work out. And I think she has a lot of trouble with that. Like she gets frustrated really easy and wants everything to just be the way she wants it. So I feel like there was some growth in that episode by the end, by the cliffhanger.
Oh my gosh, such a good cliffhanger. I can totally relate to that. I'm a Virgo. I just threw my best friend a bridal shower, and I feel like I was Carly in the finale episode. What about you, Nathan?
I think Freddie got to do some really fun stuff this season. Just kind of growing a spine, I guess. It kind of started at the end of the last season where he sort of got on this track with this new job and a viable idea for a company. And I think that gave him sort of the boost going into the second season, where especially, I think if I had to pick one, the moment where Freddie properly stood up to his mom and said, I am not a little boy. You cannot dictate my life. And if you want to be in my life, this is how it's going to be. And that never would have happened in the first show, or probably even the first season, because he was in such kind of a low place. So I think this new job really sort of set him on a better path and gave him some drive and some purpose and confidence. And that's been fun to see how that sort of fueled his interactions with the people around him, with his mom, with Millicent, kind of standing up to her a little more, sticking up for her, with this kind of rival Henry von Biedermeier character, and being a source of kind of wisdom and fatherly advice around her first little crush boyfriend character, so a lot of adulting going on for Freddie, but I think he's finally starting to come into his own a little bit. And that was sort of the thematic thing before we started the second season, was they kind of just said the arc for Freddie is he sort of gets his mojo back. So it was fun to see how exactly they executed that. And I'm curious to see how that continues in the third season, or if there's a setback. Who knows?
Who knows? I mean, who knows? I think that's what's so wonderful about this series, is that we saw these characters younger and, how they kind of grew then, but it's a great lesson as adults that the growth never ends. Yeah. There's setbacks, like you mentioned, but we got to keep doing it. We got to keep moving forward. I want to just gush over one of my favorite episodes of the season, which was the Bay Doll episode. And I just found that episode incredibly impactful, and was done in such a clever way. How important is it for series like iCarly to exist, to be able to explore relevant and educational topics in such kind of a safe environment?
I think one of the fun things about coming back has been, now that we're adults and we can take on some of the more adult themes in the episodes, and the show's so much about the internet culture and having a show online. I feel like it's just been interesting kind of exploring more of that, definitely with the doll episode, but also we did an episode where Carly's really struggling with people online thinking she's this really nice person that never gets frustrated. And then she gets super wronged in the episode, and she she's just really struggling with it and ends up at this, like internet fight club, like with all of these other influencers that are known for being really nice. So I thought that was fun. It's just fun getting like to explore those things, even though some of the topics could be taken like a little seriously. It's I think it's fun getting to like put that weird, quirky iCarly spin on it as well. So even though hopefully we're making a good statement, we're also kind of just being like goofy and fun at the same time.
Yeah. No, I think, and that's why it's so powerful, right? Because it's like, I could watch this series, as Meg, as an adult woman, and still kind of learn from it and reflect while laughing and having a good time. But I can also watch it with my 14-year-old niece or my 9-year-old niece, and it can lead to sort of a discussion and questions. But again, in a very approachable, friendly way, which I think is really impactful.
Thanks.
Yeah. You guys mentioned the finale episode. I don't want to give too much away. It is coming up. And I got to watch it and absolutely loved it. Like we mentioned, it ends on this really great cliffhanger, which sets up so much to happen in season 3. Nathan, you talked about this a little bit, but I'd love to hear more about what you're both looking forward to the most about, what you can explore with these characters in a season 3.
Yeah, I think obviously the biggest question that we have to answer is the one that they were confronted with so blatantly at the end of the episode, in a way that simply cannot be ignored or denied. So I think we have finally signaled to the longtime iCarly viewers that we're ready to dig into that topic and stop kind of glossing over it and leaving it up to viewer opinion. What's really going on? Now we have to start talking about it. So, I think the interesting bit of that is we don't know exactly how that's going to go down. The decision has not been made. I know that for my part, it's going to bring up some really awkward feelings probably for Freddie, just because I think that's a part of his life he's really tried to put away, maybe to an extent of desperation, because he's been married twice and it didn't work out. So Freddie's obviously searching for something. And I think the question just needs to be answered. Is it this thing that he's suppressed for 10 years or more? Or is it that truly this has played its course and maybe there's an attempt to figure it out and it doesn't work out because it's just been too long and the ship has sailed? We don't really know how it's going to play out, but we also know that adult relationships are messy and they're inconvenient. And a lot of the time they're just as challenging as they are wonderful. So there's a lot of wiggle room and runway for us to really play with the story and dig into the fact that our characters have a lot of history. And depending on who's watching, that could push them one direction or the other. It really is kind of an even split. So it'll be very exciting to finally face the facts in this next season and really give the viewer, I think, something to look forward to. Because I personally have been very curious. So I know if I've been curious, then the viewer has been curious as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's so beautifully said, Nathan. Thank you. What about you, Miranda?
I feel like I would like just me as Miranda, I like the idea of Carly and Freddie together. I totally agree with Nathan about, it's kind of a strange relationship because they're basically best friends and they've known each other their entire lives. And you can just, you can tell right off the bat that either of them would do anything for the other. But I don't know. I wonder if it's like the type of thing where like you don't want to ruin that friendship, or because the friendship is so important and it has gone on for so long. But anyway, me as Miranda, I would like to see them together. Like I think that would be really kind of just like a nice end game because they have known each other for so long, and I do think they love each other. And I think Carly's kind of a bit of a mess as an adult. Like she's definitely been having a hard time the first and second season, like figuring out who she is still, even though she's in her mid-20s. And same thing with the Freddie character. So they kind of are on similar tracks trying to figure everything out, but they've always been there for each other. So I feel like it could be potentially something really good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's all very exciting. I'm very excited to see what happens. Well, this has been so lovely. Thank you so much. My last question, since y'all have been playing these roles for a minute now, and I'm sure have grown so much, since the start. I would just love to know what playing these characters have taught you most about yourselves. What have they gifted you throughout the years?
Wow. What a question. I think at least, gosh, I mean, there's so many ways to answer that. I think for me personally, and just what it's done for my life, it's caused me to become a grown-up really, really quick, which I know that Miranda has been this way, because she started on Drake and Josh as a regular way before me. So she's been doing this for even longer. It being in the industry and being working regular on a TV show that ran for a long time as a child forces you into having a certain mindset and having a certain work ethic and character. And that I think has served all of us well, and contributed to where we are now, where instead of just being passive players on this show, now we're all serving in levels of production in the process, and we're working together cohesively to make this product. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that we've been kind of in film school since we were children. So
yeah.
So yeah, I think that's just been a very valuable thing. It's just taught me a lot about being forced to grow and stretch myself in challenging situations, and then has also just given me an amazing platform to meet so many awesome people and fans and people that it influences. And really, that's still the best thing to me. It's just getting to meet fans who say like, that was such a huge part of my childhood, and appreciating just being able to grow up all together, So I think that's been one of the best parts for me, for sure.
Oh, that's lovely. What about you, Miranda?
I definitely agree with everything Nathan said, but especially like when I go places and people come up and they say like, oh, like you made my childhood better, or like I feel like I grew up alongside you. Like that's always one of the best feelings, because I don't think I really realized when I was little that, I was going to grow up and then people were going to be in their 20s like me and feel that way. But like we grew up together. So that's just a really good feeling. And then also just the friendships that I got out of doing the show, like getting to have Jerry and Nathan in my life. And I don't have any siblings. So I love getting to work with them again. And, I literally grew up with Nathan and Jerry. So it's just kind of insane when I really think about it. And I feel really, really lucky.
Oh, well, y'all are so lovely. Thank you again for your time. And I look forward to that season 3. It better happen, because I gotta know what's up.